Hey guys, what's going on? We got another PvP video here. This time we are playing Beast Cleave. We are actually playing Storm Enhancement, and this is actually a very low MMR session, but we just wanted to play ults because playing at the high rating is definitely annoying and not as fun. The matches go forever, so we do have quite a lot of matches in this one, so it was a good time. None of them went over 5 minutes really, or 2 minutes for that matter. But yeah, anyways, to start off with, for Beast Cleave, since I haven't showcased it yet, Beast Cleave is a very damage forward, kind of like Turbo Cleave in the sense of just doing as much damage as possible. This consists of a Enhancement Shaman and a Beastmaster Hunter with any form of healer. I think it's generally a Druid or a Paladin, and possibly even a Disc Priest. But anyways, your main focus is going to be just straight damage. The hunter is going to focus on CCing the healer, while you also kind of CC the healer with a hex every so often. But also, you're mostly there for pure damage and a bit of utility. But yeah, the Beastmaster Hunter brings the mortal wound, so reducing the healer's healing and stuff like that. But yeah, that is the main focus. Is the hunter focuses on CC while you just kind of deal damage and try and peel a little bit. But you're also like a super damage heavy person, so the two classes complement each other. But you are very vulnerable. You don't have that many defensives, although hunter does bring sacrifice. It's not as much as a warrior's intervene. But yeah, as you see in this match, we were fighting an assassination rogue and survival hunter. Um, it was definitely an interesting match, but they just couldn't keep up with our damage. But on to this match, we got an elemental shaman and a unholy DK. Our main focus is going to be kind of the DK, but also really just hitting whatever is close. So if I can get onto the shaman, I'm gonna stick to the shaman. But whenever you're dealing with an unholy DK or any form of DK for that matter, they are very vulnerable to physical damage. So they are a priority target in a sense for physical damage dealers like Beastmaster Hunter or Storm Enhancement. But you also can make the shaman very vulnerable as well because he's a shaman. He's not full of defensives, but you'll see here this shaman starts overextending like significantly. He's going off into our corner, which is very weird, rather than playing a bit closer to his healer, forcing his healer out a little bit, allowing Shook to get in there and hodge him, while we switch to the shaman and we're able to just take him down, as you can tell. So he overextended way too much rather than just staying a bit close to his healer, allowing him to peel any incoming CCs or anything like that. But yeah, on to the next match, we got Ret Warrior. This is one of the, I believe it's an S tier comp now, but these guys just ran after Shook. Very interesting. I don't think that was the play for them. Now, they did get his bubble, but I think they would have been better off on either me or Plum. But anyways, our main focus is going to be splitting in between the warrior and the ret while just trying to get the monk off of us and preventing him from kicking, because he is a punch monk and that's how he heals. So a lot of movement is required to keep him away. At least I think he's a punch monk. I can't remember. But he played very, very odd. But as you can see, Shook goes a bit low, so he just trades out Bubble right away. Doesn't really care. It's like, whatever. I still have Trinket. I have all my abilities. So I'm wailing on the Warrior right now. Warrior makes a giant mistake here, leaping over to chase after Shook. And there is 3 defensives right there. They overlap Die by the Sword, Cocoon, and Blessing of Protection. So there was nothing left for them, so we switched to the Ret Pally, and the Ret Pally has to trade out Bubble. So now they have absolutely nothing but Revival left. So, and speaking of which, there it is, the Revival. So now everybody's a target. We don't care which one it is. We are going to focus them. I have Bloodlust coming up right here, and we just are able to kill them all. I didn't even have to use Bloodlust even. But yeah, you have to be very careful. The warrior shouldn't have leaped that far. Um, it would have been best to stay and hit one of the DPS. They were very focused on the healer. It is good to have a priority target, but don't fixate so much that you're just going to do something like that, right? It's always good to make swaps. So here, this is a very fast match, by the way. Here, our focus is the Demon Hunter, and we end up just killing him. He didn't pop blur, he didn't react to anything at all. He just fell over. Now, we did do a significant amount of damage to him, but if he had either pop blur or chaos nova or even darkness for that matter, seeing that, it's the beginning of the match, and generally at the start of a match whenever people connect, they use their offensives, right? And even if you don't have weak ores or anything telling you that, you should know, okay, we are connecting, they're probably going to use something, and blur is a minute cooldown, right? Use blur, get it on cooldown, dodge a lot of stuff. That is my general thought on the start of a match is don't be afraid to use a either small defensive or a big one as soon as you see cooldowns go off. So here is a match that actually was very well played out. These guys did a lot of damage to me, as you'll see in a second here. I'm going on the offensive. I don't really want to use my burrow or anything, so I'm kind of relying on my wall. And then I almost fall over. I was about to press burrow, but Shook ended up sacking me, so I was like, okay, I'm fine. So here, they make a fast swap to Shook, who had just used Sacrifice on me and eating that damage. He had to trade out Bubble, unfortunately. So here, our main focus is going to be on the DK, just for the most part, but that doesn't mean the monk isn't an option, right? This is a comp. We are playing Beast Cleave. It's a comp that can kill anything, just like Turbo Cleave. It doesn't matter who the target is or where the target is. We can chase them down and take them out. So here, they get me low again, forcing Shook to bot me. So the DK ended up running into a trap of plums, so I just went for the Hex on the Priest and was able to get it. Here, they haven't been setting up very well. As you can see, the monk used leg sweep on just me. He should have waited for the Death Knight to grip somebody in and get like a double or triple leg sweep, right? That's the general way to play Windwalker, but they still end up getting a whole lot of defensives from us. But here, the Windwalker just keeps switching to Plum for whatever reason. I think they would have had a better time if they had just stayed on me for the most part and forcing a lot of healing and defensive play. But the monk backs off, leaving the Death Knight all on his own. And here's a really good play from Shook. There's the life swap. Shook saw that coming, chases him down, gets the Hodge. I quickly swap and get a lucky Ascendance proc there, and we just end up taking out the Priest. The DK does die, but it was very, very well played by Shook. He saw the life swap coming, so he chased after the Priest, getting ready to either we were going to kill the DK or we were going to get a nice opening on the Priest. So here, one of the most annoying comps, and I hate fighting them, is Rogue Mage. The Rogue was doing fairly well. I don't know why he used his cloak in the very opening attack, and his evasion is just, he used all of his defensives right in their opening, right? They're setting up. There's no damage coming from us whatsoever, but he has already used both his defensives, and it just confused me. But anyways, our main focus is kind of on the rogue, but also the mage, right? So the rogue has no defensives. He only has vanishes left, which, vanish is still like a defensive. It drops combat, drops your sight and everything, but this means he is a serious target for us, so we are just going to punish him for doing that. And there's his Shadow Meld. We get a lot of damage. There's the Vanish. So here the mage is trying to set up for a polymorph, so we're just kind of attacking him, just trying to see what we can get. Plum gets a nice silence thingy on him. I don't remember what it's called. I think it's Chimera Shot or something, but here Shook had to use his trinket on a poly. I'm getting wailed on by both the rogue and the mage. And I think they kind of made a miscall, I'm not sure, but they kind of set up on Plum but didn't at the same time. But we end up getting a whole lot of damage on the rogue and he just falls over. So it was definitely on the rogue for using his defensives when they were doing an opener. It was very odd to me. But on to the last match. Here is Feral Beastmaster, also known as Jungle Cleave. This is a very powerful comp, very similar to us, where they want to focus on damage, but they have a lot more CC. And so what's going to happen is the Feral Druid is going to look for Cyclones every single time, right? So what you want to do when you're fighting this is focus on the Feral Druid as much as possible, or just keep a very, very observant eye on him. Because as soon as he goes for a clone, you want to make sure you stop that instantly. If he gets a clone off, I think his next combo spender is going to cast a Feral Frenzy, which does a lot of damage and also triggers their tier set and stuff. So whatever you do, don't let him get a clone off. One, clones are annoying to deal with. Two, if he gets it off, he gets a power spike. So those are the reasons why you have to be careful. So here, their main focus seems to be me for the most part, but here they kind of split up. So we go ahead and punish the Feral for being closer to our side, and I get a nice Ascendance proc, forcing a lot of defensives and offenses from them. And here we get everybody low, and the dragon is doing a great job keeping them alive. There is his Emerald Communion. So I don't think he has anything left, but we're back on the Druid. We want to make sure we're punishing him. Even though he has Gift of the Wild or whatever up, we don't really care. He's still taking a lot of damage. I get a nice group of them. I pop Ascendance to do a whole lot of damage. I went for a nice Primordial Wave double tap, but we didn't quite get it, so we're just wailing on the Hunter anyways. But here they get a quick setup with Cyclone on Plum. They're after Shook a little bit for CC. Pardon me. And there the Feral's going for another clone. Plum gets a kick on it. And here the Hunter starts overextending. Right? He's pushing up the stairs. This is really bad to do, especially if you're not in communication with your healer. Plum gets a nice high mountain Tauren charge on them. But yeah, you don't want to push up very often, especially when you're fighting a very bursty cleave. You have to make sure your healer is understanding where you want to go. So we force the Feral out. He pushes over to get a Cyclone on Shook, which Plum saw coming, and so we stopped, and we get a whole lot of damage here on the Feral Druid because they have nothing left, right? They have no defensive, no nothing, and we are able to just take him out. As you can see, just too much damage for him to do anything. But yeah, that is it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Season 4 is almost here, so I'm super excited to do something in that. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Laters!